Good morning, everybody. We will please rise and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Smith, will you open in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come to you once again asking you to guide and direct us in the way that we do business here today. We ask that you would watch over each one that's in this room, that you would help them to understand and see the direction that you would have things to go, and that maybe we would understand that also, Lord. We ask that you would be with each one, help us, watch over us, guide us, keep us. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And welcome. Before we get started, I do want to point out it is a tighter schedule than normal. It looks like we have 3 bid openings, so if you've been here before, we do stop right at, looks like 10, 10:10, and 10:20 today, specific for bid openings, so that might interrupt times of comment. But with that, we'll jump into the approval of the meeting minutes of January 15th.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Any comments or questions on item 2?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Any comments or questions on item 3?
Make a motion, we approve the request for transfer.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and then and now certificates in the total amount of $475,748.35.
Any comments or questions on item 4?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Any comments or questions on our miscellaneous reports?
I make a motion, we accept the reports.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting amended certificate from the Budget Commission,
Any comments or questions on the amended certificate?
I make the motion to accept.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of request to attend meetings,
Any comments or questions on our request to attend meetings?
I make a motion, we approve those requests.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of communication from sanitary engineer regarding 2026 sewer rates,
This is a request to increase sewer rates, the 3% annual increase. This is typical and has been tied to, a resolution passed. I don't know how many years ago it's been now. So every year we're asked by our sanitary engineer to review this. Any comments or questions?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of resolution accepting the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant 2022 regarding the Sheriff's Office.
All right, this is a grant that the Scioto County Commissioners hereby accept. It's the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant in the amount of $37,194.16, funded through the U.S. Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ohio Department of Public Safety Office, Criminal Justice Services, awarded to our county sheriff. Thank you, Sheriff. Is authorized to execute any and all documents the sheriff is in acceptance of this grant. And then, of course, the county auditor is directed to establish the fund to be able to use this grant program. Any comments or questions?
I make a motion, we adopt the request.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting resignation from the Scioto County Airport Authority Board,
We did receive communication from Shane Kahn. He submitted his resignation, just citing that he has a lot of obligations and thinks the board deserves folks that can commit more time. Shane has been fantastic on this board, and we respect his service to the community. But this is a resignation effective January 13th is when this came through. Any comments or questions?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of electric service agreement amendment letter to add the Scioto County Dog Pound regarding Dynegy Energy Services.
This is part of our aggregation program that would add the dog pound location. Any comments or questions?
I make a motion, we approve that.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of bid award and extension to contract agreement for the New Boston Flood Defense Control Station project regarding the fiscal year 2024 CDBG Critical Infrastructure Grant.
All right, this is a bid award from CDC of Ohio. This will go to West End Electric Company in the amount of $699,500, with $470,000 being that of a grant award. And the extension of the contract agreement with West End Electric, the Village of New Boston requested the county commissioners and West End Electric to extend the time frame awarding and executing the contract an additional 60 days as the village secures financing for their part of the contract over and above the $470,000 grant award, making the new deadline for the notice of award and issuance April 4th, 2026. Any comments or questions?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting resolution on behalf of the Village of New Boston Council.
Yeah, so we received a resolution from the Village of New Boston asking us to reject the proposed tax abatement. Quite frankly, this came as a surprise. Not a single individual from the Village of New Boston reached out to have a conversation to even understand what we're considering or what we're doing. So we get a resolution, which is fine if they want to do that. In the future, I would recommend reaching out and having a conversation. I appreciate the relationship we have with the Village of New Boston and look forward to the work we're doing there and the $1.25 million worth of grant money we've brought there in the past year. Any additional comments or questions?
I make a motion, we accept the resolution.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution determining to proceed with the submission to the electors of the question of levying a tax in excess of the 10 million limitation, ORC 5704.04E, 5705.19Y, ORC 307.694, 307.85, 505.70, 505.706, 717.01EE.
What was that last part? This is the resolution for renewal. This is something we're already taxed on. This funds our senior citizens operating levy. It's not an increase. It is a renewal of what the citizens have been supporting many times in the past. So this puts it back in front of the electorate to consider. Any comments or questions?
I make the motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for fund transfer,
All right, we received a request from JFS, CPS. We've been talking about this problem well before you gentlemen joined, in terms of the placement cost associated with kids in care. We mentioned the headwinds we're facing due to boarding costs. First and foremost, when we combined the CPS board under JFS, at that point we had 407 kids in care. We're now under 200 kids in care. So they've been doing a fantastic job in getting kids to permanency, getting them, whether it's in a family or with a new family. But what hasn't correlated with a drastic decrease of kids in care is the rate of increase in terms of how much these organizations are charging for kids in care. Right now, it is not a regulated system. So, for instance, we could send a kid to care, and it's $200 a day, and that provider can call up and say, you know what, it's probably $350 now. And there's really not a lot of recourse unless we just keep upending that child and moving them around. So, it's an issue statewide. I know folks are looking at it. Right now, there's not a good fix. The problem is that the levy funds for CPS does not cover this drastic increase. I think we have one kid in care that's been costing the county $1,800 a day. So it's a burden, and at the same time, we got to make sure that we're taking care of these children. So this request is for $500,000 to go to CPS to help pay some of their back invoices. I believe the total amount for last year that's still pending is $2.5 million. So when office holders hear us say, hey, please hold the line, please do not backfill, no wage increases, this is one of the drivers of that. If we have to end up coming out of pocket to another $2 million plus whatever happens this year, the county is in, we'll be in a tough situation where we'll be looking at furloughs and layoffs and things like that. But today, we do have the funds and we do need to take care of our obligations, so it is a request to transfer $500,000 to JFS for the cost of kids in care. Comments, questions?
I'll make a motion, we approve that transfer.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of service agreement between the Board of Scioto County Commissioners and Maximus US Services, Inc. regarding cost allocation plan.
So this is an agreement between Scioto County Commissioners and Maximus US Services effective February 1, 26 to March 31, 29 for the development of Central Services Cost Allocation Plan, which identifies the various costs incurred by the client to support administrative programs that provide services directly to citizens. This plan will contain a determination of allowable cost of providing. I have another page. Each supporting service, such as purchasing, legal counsel, disbursement processing, prepared indirect cost proposals for federal grants, negotiations of the completed cost allocation plan with representatives of the state and federal level, which is applicable, and the cost covers the 3-year agreement will be $12,500 yearly with a total cost of $37,500. This is an ongoing vendor of ours, so this is a renewal of their contract. Any comments or questions?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of notification from the Ohio Department of Taxation regarding permissive sales tax.
This is our permissive sales tax, and it is a increase, so it is $1,271,609.18. That is an increase over the previous November of $14,262.32. So it is an increase, but it's still a relatively low increase, so I would consider it flat, but positive is better than negative when we're reporting our sales tax. Any comments or questions?
I'm happy to accept any money that someone has given us, so I will make a motion to accept the sales tax.
And I will second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of approving the execution of a community reinvestment area agreement between the county and Tilted Gate LLC and authorizing related actions.
All right. Which is probably why everybody's here. I don't think people are here for bid openings. Maybe we have some. No, typically we have people for bid openings. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's been an interesting couple weeks. We've heard a lot of comments both publicly, and we've also had a lot of people reach out to us privately. So we appreciate your engagement and appreciate the time that the trustees had us up in Green Township last Thursday. 2 questions that I want to address specifically from that meeting at Green Township. One lady from the very back of the room said, "Are you even listening to us? Are you taking our considerations?" And I said, "Yeah, we're truly listening." And then one of the trustees said, "Do you guys know something that we don't? Why you're so kind of baked into where your stance is?" And the answer has always been yes. But the question is why, right? So, as we move through this process, we've always said the who matters more than the what. We've alluded to the data center company. We've talked about that. But you guys not knowing who that is drives the fear. It gives you the opportunity to investigate the worst performers in this space. And we firmly recognize that. So once again, the who matters more than the what, because now we're able to point to something and say, hey, this is why we've gotten to our decision point. So today I'm going to announce that we have been directly working with Google for the past 7 months. And this campus has the potential of 500 permanent jobs at a conservative number. And it matters when we say Google because we can point to their past history in the state of Ohio. You can look at their other sites. You don't have to take our word for it. You can look at their track record. So the folks that are concerned specifically in Franklin Furnace about noise level, I would encourage you to drive up to right there by Soda Downs. That is a Google site. That is the site we visited. That is the site where we saw 1,300 construction workers on site. That is the site where we saw all the union workers in the parking lot. That is the site that we got to better understand how they operate in communities. If you're worried about the noise, by all means, drive right up to Hamilton School District, which is right across the street, and sit in their parking lot and see if you can hear anything. I actually did it yesterday, just to be sure. Be sure to drive through the subdivision that's right beside the property line. It's a very nice subdivision, and see if you can see or hear anything. I've gotten to a comfort level of how they interact with their communities, and I didn't have to take their word for it. I can look across the country to see how they interact. If you're concerned about water, please research their conservation plan and how they're focused on fresh water. And how they're concerned with the environment and the different nonprofits they work with for conservation. If you're concerned whether or not they're truly going to use the union workers, ask these guys in the room. We've had people driving up for many years to Columbus to work on Google sites. They can tell you who the good operators are, and I know that you guys have had good experiences with this company. I don't want to get too far out in front of their announcement, but it is important for the community to know because the biggest thing that came through with this process is there's a fear of the unknown. And that's probably the most regretful thing. And regardless of what we say, I'm very mindful that we're at a trust deficit. People don't trust politicians. This board's a little tainted. We all know that. So we're at a trust deficit and you are at an information deficit. So I'm giving you more information today, and I appreciate the ability to share that. But what this is, it's not a data center, it's a campus that will be able to support conservatively 500 new jobs and years of construction. We've had individuals in this room driving to Columbus and working on these sites for over 10 years, specifically on Google sites. So that is what and the company we've been talking to. We've been able to research them, not data centers in general, because there's some bad operators in this space. There's no doubt about it. That's not who we're talking about. So I wanted to share that today. We're excited about the possibilities. They do fantastic outreach with the community and is anxious to then be reaching out to first folks in Franklin Furnace, but really the community. Research how they give back to the communities, how they invest in nonprofits and economic development. By all means, it's all online. You don't have to take my word for it. And even still, as we sit here today, we are not deciding if a data center shows up. It's not in our purview. We're not deciding on permitting for a data center. That is not what we're considering. We're considering today a tax abatement. And I've walked through it before. I can walk through it again. It is 75%, which is a little bit of a misnomer because with the pilot, it's more like 50%. The reality is this property for property tax with the tax abatement will generate 23 times more revenue than the soybean field is currently generating for the school district and for the township. That's millions of dollars specific to the local community. So that's what we're considering. You say, well, why would you give it to them? The value for the community is a full build out. It's to incentivize a complete campus. A one deployment is 50 jobs, and of course nobody was excited about that. A full deployment is really regional changing. It's community changing. It gives our kids an opportunity to engage with not a Fortune 100 tech company, but a Fortune 10 tech company. And it really gets us, once again, we haven't had a development in this county in 25 years. so it gives us the opportunity to jumpstart our economy. And that's my stance on it. I will open up to these two gentlemen for comments.
Go ahead, Will.
Well, I am in agreement with Scotty once again on this matter and Commissioner Smith. And I feel like it's the best interest of future generations in Scioto County for us to go forth with this decision.
And once again, as Scotty said, one of the questions is, why are we giving them a tax abatement? You know, this is a company that's worth billions of dollars. So why are we giving them a tax abatement? And as he said, part of that reason is because of the build out. Hopefully, with what they're saying, if we're at the table, we can kind of work with them on building out and becoming the full campus that they say they're going to. The other thing is it gives us a seat at the table. You know, we kind of we've got to see Google. We went to their facility. We talked to their people. And without the talk on the tax abatement, we would have never got that opportunity. And so it gave us the opportunity to talk with them, find out about them, and find out who they are and what they do. And as I said, I think sometime back a couple meetings ago, is after looking, we felt like that this was the best company that we could deal with in doing this. And we are doing that through the tax abatement. And that's what gave us the seat at the table to be able to talk about those things. So that's the reason basically for the tax abatement. Could this company operate without a tax abatement? Sure, they don't need our money, but we need to have a say in what they're doing, and this gives us a little bit of a say.
All right. I don't have any other comments, gentlemen. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
I'll second it.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye. And we are at the end of our agenda. So at this point, Bill, I see you're the closest to the podium. If you want to, Bill Shope, if you're interested in asking any questions, sir, we will open it to comments. Just beware, we do have to watch the clock, and I'm relying Amanda to give me a wave on the bid openings.
Given that, I'll keep my questions very short because I know there are a lot of people that would like to make comments. Merritt kind of answered one of the questions that I had regarding the tax abatement. What I would like to ask is, just for clarification's sake, was that 75% negotiated? Was it offered up front by the commissioners, or was it through a joint negotiation? And if it was offered by the commissioners, how did you arrive at that number particularly?
You want me to get that?
Yeah.
So the initial request was 75 flat, and that's not what we did. We ended up negotiating the pilot down to essentially a 50% rate. The way the pilot works is they're incentivized. The more they build, the better the pilot is. So it starts at $1 a square foot, it goes to 90 cents, it goes to 80, 70. So the pilot will increase, but their cost per square footage goes down a little bit. And we thought that was a fair, once again, when you're looking at what the property is bringing in versus what it will be bringing in at a full deployment, we thought it was a fair incentive. And once again, the reason you incentivize is if I own property here with no incentive and property over here with an incentive, I'm incentivized to build where it's more advantageous versus building somewhere else.
To add on to that, Bill, with this negotiation, we have been told by our attorneys that this is the best deal that they've ever negotiated for us, for the county. I mean, yeah, obviously, you get 100%, you get 100%, but as far as people that negotiated a tax abatement, this is the best deal that Google has ever negotiated as far as giving the county more money.
In favor of Scioto County.
Yeah.
All right, and just one more quick question. Again, I'll see the rest of my time to the large crowd that's here. And if I'm misspeaking, please correct me. But I thought I heard, Scotty, you say that it's not going to be a data center.
No, it's a data center, but it's more of a campus. The reality is it'll be potential multiple phases. And I don't want to get too far out in front of the company, but It's, I guess what I was saying is it matters more who the person is versus, yeah, it's a data center, but it's not a Bitcoining mining operation that buys the cheapest equipment, that has the loud noises and all that. And if you start looking for comparisons, you can find the lowest common denominator. That's not what we're dealing with here.
Okay, and just to push it a little further,
Yeah.
can we be a little bit more precise exactly about what's going to take place there?
It'd be very similar to what you see in New Albany, very similar to what you see right there by Scioto Downs. They do have multiple data centers. They have a hub, if you will, where their staff works, where their techs work. So it's potential full campus for Google.
And in that hub, they have cafeteria, they have, facilities to take care of their employees that are in there
Yeah.
to do those types of things.
All right, guys, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bill. All right, any other questions? How are you?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
In the interest of time, excuse me, I kind of wrote my thoughts down this time so I didn't ramble. Just from the discussion before you guys took the vote, I've got just one question. You guys discussed seeing firsthand the 1,300 construction workers on the site working up that side of Downs, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. If there are still 1,300 construction workers there, how are you getting a true sense of what that thing's gonna be like when it's completed? The construction's still ongoing, and if it's at that massive scale,
Yep.
the facility's probably running at a very minimal percentage of their capacity.
I'm trying to figure out what the exact question is there, Patrick. In terms of permanent jobs? Is that what the question is?
I'm not talking about jobs at all. You mentioned you saw 1,300 construction workers,
Yep.
union construction workers on that job site,
Correct.
and touted the noise level as being very favorable.
Yeah.
The site's not complete. My question is, how are you evaluating the noise level of a site that's not even complete?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you can drive to the New Albany site as well, which is quite a bit more complete.
I'll be up there later next week.
And right there, I forget how many phases they've already completed there at, right there by Scioto Downs. But yeah, I understand the concern. Once again, you're audibly, you're not going to hear it.
Okay.
And Patrick, on the question, I think what you're asking is, how can we know when they're not completed yet? How can we know what it is?
Exactly.
And they do have, what we're talking about here with the numbers that we've given you and all is one phase. They have, I think, 3 phases completed up there. So they would,
Or more.
yeah, and they're building more. That's why the construction is going on. So if what you would hear up there is coming from 3 phases, not from 1 phase, which is what we're talking about to start with up here.
Did you guys go, and I don't want to get too far off topic here, did you guys go during the day or the evening or?
I was up there yesterday at 7 in the morning. I drove back through. I was about there at 8 o'clock last night because I happened to be in Mount Vernon yesterday. So just to be sure, because we were asked the question about nighttime as well. So yeah, I've been there a couple different times. I even also drove out through Franklin Furnace several times over the weekend to better understand how close some of the data centers may or may not be to the residential versus where some of the other infrastructure will be, and kind of leave it up to the company to be able to walk through the community with that, and kind of how they do their noise dampening, how they do their landscaping, how they interact with their community. So I think once they're able to share that information, you're ready for a bid opening? You got a minute? Once they're able to share that information, I think specifically residents in Franklin Furnace will have a better comfort level with what's going on there.
Okay.
And once again, there's plenty of construction workers that, quite frankly, are on these sites a lot more than we are. Feel free to ask any of these guys in terms of the noise levels or anything like that. They're on the smaller ones, they're on the bigger ones, so
I got you.
don't take my word for it.
So I'll just get to my point. Since you guys have already voted, it kind of changes the tone of this a little bit, I guess. But I guess what I'm getting ready to say is probably going to come as a surprise to you guys, the people in the room, the people that I've been working with over the course of the last couple of weeks. But I came here to say thank you to the commissioners. I did. Thank you for renewing my confidence in the selflessness and inherent good in the people of Green Township and Scioto County. Thank you for reminding me that despite the many differences in beliefs or opinions that the members of my community have, we'll put those aside and fight for one another. Thank you for proving that Scioto Countyans, like our friends in New Boston, have the courage to speak out against short-term perceived progress when it results in long-term consequences. Most of all, thank you for reminding us why our vote matters and why we should monitor what our representatives do rather than what they say or they promise. You guys repeatedly said over the course of the last couple of weeks that unless something major changes, you're voting for it. Obviously, that's the case. So at this point, I know this. You brought over 700 individuals to form a coalition to share ideas, information, and provide support, prompted nearly 900 citizens to take the time to sign a petition voicing their disapproval. You attracted a record crowd at Green Township's trustees meeting last week, and you gave me an abundance of reminders why I love Scioto County. And really, to be honest, it's hard to believe you guys had that kind of impact in just 2 weeks. So, thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Any other comments or questions? Actually, we have a bid opening, sorry. Don't jump up yet, sorry.
It's okay.
Is it Ethan's on? Who's on deck?
Me.
All right,
Yep.
come on in. They're all here for you, Ethan.
So in the matter of bid opening for the SCI TR 100-1.90 Pond Run Road Bridge Replacement Project regarding the Scioto County Engineer.
All right, do we have any bids? Well, come on up. You're-
The first bid I have is from DGM Incorporated.
What was that?
DGM.
All right, this bid is from DGM. There are a lot of line items, so I'll just go with the grand total bid amount. The grand total bid amount for Pond Run 1.9 from DGM Inc. is $832,640, 832,640.00.
Okay, and the last bid I have for this project is from Double Z Construction.
All right, this bid is from Double Z Construction, and their grand total amount is $836,290.45. That's 836,290.45.
That's all we have for this.
That's all we have? All right, so for this bid opening, I'll entertain a motion to forward the bids to our engineer for review and recommendation. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right. We got a motion, do I get a
I'll
second? Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Hi. All right, we have another bid opening in 6 minutes, so by all means, get comfortable. You have questions? Sure.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Melanie Porter, and I'm a resident of Franklin Furnace. So with that information, please bear with me because this
For sure.
changes the nature of the questions and things that I had to say. So first, I want to say that I'm here respectfully and in good faith. I understand that data centers are necessary for a very, for an advanced technology use that, that we all have. I love technology, so let me make that clear. So, so when I come here, it's not because I'm automatically opposed to the project. Like many of my neighbors, I simply have not had adequate time or access to unbiased, non-confidential information to understand what's being proposed. So I appreciate the information that you all gave. With all due respect, it would have been a little nice to have.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. So like I said, I've got a statement, but I've got some questions. So if I fumble through these, I apologize because, again, that was more information than I had. Also, too, just a random question. I am not a social media user, and I was trying to go on your website to look at these past meetings. I was not able to come. Well, one, I didn't. So there are the updated...
The videos or the...
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, the videos. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll have to get, it's on YouTube and Facebook, so we'll have to get
I could
easier
not
links.
find them, so I didn't know if there was a process for those to be updated like a certain time. I don't use Facebook, so it's been really hard for me to collect data. So just for clarification only, you all have already voted, so again, fumbling through my questions, but for clarification only regarding this specific project.
Yeah.
Were there formal studies or analysis completed for this specific project in Franklin Furnace, or were there no formal studies done?
That the company has done? The company's been doing all of their own due diligence.
For this specific area?
Yeah.
So, from my understanding, again, limited information, that's not been made available to the public. Was that due to a revised code, or was that due to the NDA?
No, it's really due to their business. So it's a private development, private land.
Totally
So
understand that, yeah.
anytime you buy property, you're doing your own due diligence. So
Do you know if
they're
that
trying to handle
information
it.
is available to the public?
No, I don't believe it is at this
Okay,
point.
okay.
We can put a note to see what they're, once they start doing their community outreach, what they'll share.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But you all were not privy to that information?
No,
There was nothing, and you all did not ask for any of that stuff to be done ahead of time?
no.
Okay. So with that being said, since the tax abatement has already been voted on, will a majority of the pilot funds be given to Green Township?
Yeah, we just have to memorialize that.
Okay.
So I would, and not that we've had the conversation, I would imagine it would look similar to what's been done in the past, specifically with Suncoke. I need to look what those percentages look like. I know I hate bringing up that. You guys cringe the community. I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
No, listen, not.
At least don't give me credit for that one.
Okay, so again, no, I mean, just so, so with that being said, again,
Yeah.
thank you so much for allowing us to be here. I'm not opposed to development, and we've not been asking for like proprietary or trade secret information. We're also not here. I know some of us have, not all of us though. Some of us have been here just really seeking information.
Sure.
So just in the future, transparency would just be really helpful. I really appreciate what you gave, but it's a lot to process in a very short amount of time. So I do appreciate that. So, and I think really what our community has just been asking for is transparency consistent with Ohio law, so the public can understand what is being considered before, a tax abatement vote is taken. So without that transparency, especially what we were just given, I mean, meaningful public input just was simply not possible.
Right.
Franklin, you mentioned Suncoke. That for Franklin Furnace, that's a very.
I know.
Again,
I wasn't.
none of you were
I don't
there,
even think I was in the county back then.
It's a very sore spot for us because Franklin Furnace is a neglected part of Scioto County. We are located near the river and the railroad, so it makes our area very attractive to industry.
Yeah.
Time and time again, we are told that large projects will benefit Green Township, and time again, they do not. We are left behind when it comes to infrastructure, schools, and basic community needs. We needed a new school, and that fell on a levy for the taxpayers. My husband and I, like many people in this room in this county, we are small business owners. We opened a business in our backyard. So we support development, and we definitely support reinvestment in our community just whenever we can. But when large developments receive these tax abatements and local businesses like my own that did not, without clear and transparent benefit to the host community, the financial burden does not disappear, but it shifts. It shifts to local residents, it shifts to local schools, and it shifts to local small businesses. Like Pat said earlier, it's amazing how Green Township comes together to really rally behind these kids in this township. And regardless if we agree or disagree, when things like this happen, we do become unified and come together as a community. But we have repeatedly had to step in to fill these gaps, especially financially. So the truth is, we just can't keep doing it. I mean, we are tired, but we are tapped out. We are tired of being overlooked, and we are tired of bearing the consequences of decisions that we had no meaningful opportunity to understand or weigh in on beforehand. So one example of ways that our community lawfully and creatively comes together, and I know timing is limited because I could go on and on about this effort, is we do different things in our community to meet the needs of our community. Recently there was a bus driver whose house burnt down, so we all rallied together. But we have a place called the Bobcat Boutique, and I would, again, limited on time, check it out on Facebook. But that entity alone is an entirely community-driven effort, and it exists because our students have needs. They provide needs confidentially for the students. Student activities, because funds are limited and restricted within our district because of how that's set up, they don't have access to things. So when our boys and girls need new uniforms, new things, the community comes together, small businesses come together. So, community members who are listening, look at ways that you all can support that township when these large companies come in and we do not have that benefit. Too often attention is given to our area only when our land or resources are being sought. I would encourage the commissioners to spend time. I'm very encouraged by the fact that you said you've been spending time down there lately. In the past, that's not happened with us. So I would encourage you all to come and spend, now that this has been voted on, come and spend time with us along that corridor of old US 52 outside of these moments to see firsthand just how Green Township comes together out of necessity and mutual support. My goal was not to create conflict or even to show disrespect. I love development, I love technology. I've just not had enough time to gather this. My goal was to ensure our community is given the decency of clarity, transparency, and a process that allows us to understand what is being decided before a decision is made for us. So, since you have already voted, this kind of, sorry, I'm fumbling through the next session, but I would ask that you not do what's been done in the past for tax abatements. It's done, and listen, I understand this was a private sale, that the only say that you had in it was the tax abatement. But I am asking you to do it differently than it's been done in the past. Please do not let another SunCoke project happen. I am asking you, on behalf of my community too, to please consider giving a majority of the pilot money back to the township. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you so much. We do have Ethan, you're back up. Do we have bids for this project?
I don't know if we got any more. Do we have bids?
For Stony Run?
No. So
Yeah?
we have no bids. So
No bids for Stony Run?
Apparently not. So,
All right, well, we will, I guess, put that back out to bid.
yeah, we will. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. Tell the engineer we said hi. And Melanie, one thing you said about corporations coming in, and I don't want to speak for Google, I do know that they're interested in figuring out how they can quickly get involved, specifically with Green Township and with the school district. So, and I said, look, I don't want to be the person that kind of directs that traffic. So hopefully there's a group of folks down there that can then engage and kind of point to different needs.
I promise you this, Commissioner, if they do that, actually, because we have had businesses say that before, I will publicly come speak at the next meeting and say, listen, this has actually happened.
No,
With all
agreed.
due respect.
No,
Yeah.
and once again, don't take my word for it. You
Yeah.
can see how they've done it in every other community.
Hey.
So,
Melanie, one thing I'd like to say is, we went up to Green Township last week and met with the group. and quite honestly, going in, I kind of dreaded going in because I thought, we're going to get yelled at, we're going to get called names, and I'd like to compliment the community because the meeting was very civil. I mean, we had a few times things got back and forth, but it was very civil and a lot of good information came in, and I'd like to compliment the community on that. And back to Scotty talked about he's been up there. I've been up there since I've only been commissioner for 6 months, basically, and I've been in Green Township more than I've been anywhere else because I went up, sat down one day with the fire department people, sat down, talked to them. I went up one day and met with the trustees, and then we were up there last week, and so it's not. I think we all understand that how you guys feel about the Suncoast type deals, and I know there's a lot of things you don't know about this still, and there's a lot of things, but we are honestly trying to do the best for Green Township and for Scioto County that we can do.
And I appreciate that. I just hope you understand as a community where we are coming
Sure.
from.
Yeah, we understand that.
And then people who are not on social media, like myself, has had even less time. So, Pat said it best. I mean, we do. I really appreciate the positive comments you made about our community. We really do rally together, even if we disagree on things or have had past arguments. We have rallied together, and we do rally together constantly on a consistent basis for our community. So I do appreciate the fact that you do that. And I, again, don't come disrespectfully. We've just not known. And a lot of small businesses in our area, mine included, have been bypassed on projects or overlooked on projects. So, Mayor, I think Commissioner Smith, I'm sorry, I think, when at the end of the meeting, you and I had a conversation about, hey, it'd be great if you could get involved with the community. Like I said, the boutique is just one thing. There are many things. Like, we have various fundraisers throughout the event because we just had to pick up the pieces. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Vina Colley,
Hi, Vina.
and we have an organization called Press. We've been here for like 40-some years. I appreciate all the meetings that you're having, but I think that the people should be brought in before the decisions are being made. I'm considering that this data center is going to be something to bring in small modular reactors for us to reprocess transuranic waste. So before these guys who come in your office with a suit and promise you all these jobs, when the database is done, there's probably going to be like 50 jobs. And my question is, have they approached you yet about the small modular reactors and they need this data center?
No, there's been no communication regarding small modular reactors for this project. I think the modular reactors you're referencing are there in Piketon are specifically to Meta, maybe Facebook. I think they're the ones that pre-purchased a lot of electric from the Oklo reactor being built there, or whatever, however you. So that is not tied to this.
So if you are approached, will we be the first to know? There won't be no backdoor decisions on this? Because we really feel that this data center is going to help that process.
Yeah, if they approach us regarding a nuclear power plant, we'll let you know, Vina.
And as far as nuclear, these small nuclear reactors go, you research it, you're going to find it. Google is building 2 of those right now in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
On the DOE
There's not
site.
been any-
Yeah, they are building them on a DOE site, and they are going to be used to at least is what the internet says, not what the company has told us, but the internet says that it's going to be used to power their data centers in Alabama and Tennessee. So, yeah, there's no question. You start searching it on the internet, and they're using nuclear energy to, Meta is one. I think they are trying to buy the 3 Mile Island site to build up their ability to power these things. But so far, and I'm not, so far everything that I've researched on it, all of these places are already nuclear regulated facilities that they're putting these things on. And so,
let me enlighten you. No one oversees the DOE and DOD, Department of Defense and Department of Energy, oversee their own site. They have no regulatory authorities whatsoever. And so these small modular reactors have not been proven safe. They don't have one in operation yet. So before they knock on your door, don't do like you did here, this data center. Make all the decision on your own before bringing it to the community. That's all we're asking. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Before someone else, sir, I see you jumping up. We have a bid opening yet again. The last one, is JP here? Is JP hiding out there? He's out there? There he is. JP, they're not here for you. Come on in.
In the matter of bid opening for the new screen install South Webster Pump Station project regarding the sanitary engineer.
We have one bid for this, correct? Yep.
And then it's from the Huber Pumping Station. What is it? Oh. I don't even see where it comes from. Oh, Pelton Environmental. I'm not sure if that's what it is.
Sorry, I got a hit in here, it's fun, but, man.
No?
They got all the information, the scope and everything else that they've included, but I cannot find their actual number for the bid.
I bet it's in there somewhere.
It's in there. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I can't even find it, maybe this way.
You can't find it?
I
Think they included it?
JP, there wasn't any sheets in the inside the package.
I didn't see it. Here it is. 195,000 even.
195,000 what?
0, 0, 0.
Oh, 00. All right. And that's our only bid?
That's the one here.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to forward to our sanitary engineer for review and recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
Got a motion? Do we
I'll
have a
second.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, JP.
Sorry for that pause.
First of all, if y'all looked on Google and done some research, there's no place that wants a data center. Why are we willing to take one? Why do we want it here? Mayor, you spoke on a video the other day in an interview with one of the news channels where you said that you guys get a seat at the table if you make this deal go through. We're not gaining really anything in tax value. I like soybeans personally. That ground's gonna be utilized and taken up for any manufacturing job. It's gonna create more overall jobs than just what's gonna be at this data center. What kind of guarantee are you gonna give us as residents on our property values? Is it gonna go down? It's gonna go up? Is our taxes gonna eventually increase? The rumors about the electric, because everybody that lives around one of these data centers claim that their electric does go up. Now, I understand AEP is gonna raise statewide with their rates, but can you guarantee that our electric's not gonna go above and beyond what AEP is going to be raising it to start with?
Well, obviously, I can't give you any guarantees on what can happen or what can't happen, because, you know, there's, what they say, there's only guarantees in life. You pay taxes and you die. You know, I can't give you a guarantee. I can just tell you that, and let's go back a little bit. You said, first of all, you said nobody wanted Google. Well, there's a Google facility being built next to the casinos up in Columbus. There's one being built in New Albany. There are other people that have Google facilities. They're all over, not just the state of Ohio, they're all over the world. I mean, they're a worldwide company. They're building data centers worldwide. So it's not true that no one wanted these things. It's just that, you know, we had a perfect place for a data center to come, because there is water, there is, you know, the facilities are there. That's a perfect place for them. And as they followed the power lines and looked and said, okay, this is the best place. And the power lines, I can't guarantee you that there will not be a raise in power, but I'd say as they build data systems across the state, everybody's power is going to raise, because they spread it out. They don't just say, okay, Columbus, we're building one there, so we're raising your power. Those powers across the AEP, those rates get spread out across everybody in AEP. Right now, we're paying for the ones that are being built in Columbus, and we're getting no benefit whatsoever from those. If we pay for the one that gets built here, and we have workers here, and we have construction workers here, then we are getting some benefit from it. And that's the part of having a seat at the table. Is there are actors out there, as Scotty said, there are other companies out there that don't take care of the environment as well as Google does. They don't do those things. That gave us a seat at the table to talk to these companies and investigate into these companies and find out some of the things that we found out about Google. That's why we're sitting here talking about Google. It's because in what we saw, we felt they were the best company to come here. And yeah, you know, when they start talking 50 jobs, it's not a lot of jobs. But now they're talking 500 jobs on this site. They're saying, you know, we're going to have 500 jobs eventually on this site. And that doesn't count the construction workers that will be there. And as our electrical worker over here said the other day, he said it's an ongoing thing. They build them, and then they have to update. They have to continue to update. And so we have people working there all the time. So those are the benefits of dealing with a data center. Would it be, I know, you know, people would love to see 3,000 jobs on that site or 5,000 jobs on that site. But that facility has never come. I mean, we've heard talk about them, but that facility's never come here. They've never come and said, okay, yeah, we're going to build. They kept coming saying, we want money. We've got to raise money to build here. That Google basically came here and said, we got the money to build. So I hope that answered your question.
Well, and then also, why are we rushing? You know, we've known this, what, 2.5 weeks now? As we was notified, you all had 7 months. Why wasn't we considered even to vote on it or have a voice? I feel like that we don't have a voice up there. That you guys made up your mind when you come to the meeting up there. That the time between then and now, there's not been any reconsideration of our voices and how we feel about it. Because obviously, if I would pitch a tent in your yard and go sleep there and, you know, set up shop, you wouldn't like me sleeping in your yard. I mean, we don't some of us don't want it sleeping in our yard, but if we're gonna be there, then tax them. They're making tons of money, why shouldn't we do a little bit better ourselves? Because we got a bridge on Junior Furnace up there that's got barrels and a red light that probably will never get fixed. And then we're ignored. I mean, it should have been, it was built wrong to start with, and it's been hit multiple times over the years. And within the span of 6 feet, when you go across it, where's the danger zone of being against it, and where's it safe to go across it at all? You know, there's these back roads, you know, the chippings, our trustees do wonderful with what they got to work with. But there's a lot of things that we need up there that we can't get because there's no funding. You know, I mean, how much is it gonna help our community after you tax it and you get a seat at the table and you get a voice? What's in it for the community? You know, I mean, we've struggled up there, like I said, with all these abatements and stuff. We feel like we're the dumping ground, that where you just stick what you don't want anywhere else in the county, and we're forced to swallow it, and we get no benefit from it. You know, we're a great community up there. You know, we got some great people, but I don't want our kids growing up to leave because there ain't nothing there. You know, it's well, there's a data center, 100 jobs over there, you know, and that's it, because there's no more great land in Green Township to expand for anything else. So that ground there is vital of employment or whatever it can produce to be helpful for our community. You know, we're cutting ourselves, so the tax base we really needed. You know, Ashland, you know, look at Marathon, you know, Ashland over there, and of course AK Steel, you know, I mean, they made Ashland what it was. We should be a good township with the tax money. We should be able to get off that place and not need anything in that township whatsoever. We should be able to finish a school. We should be able to have good roads. Anything that, you know, the community needs, we should have it. You know, more than anybody else. But that's all I got.
Yeah, and I appreciate the comments. I'll comment on the tax specifically. So the difference between this and what you guys have had in the past, you've only ever had 100% abatement and you've had a pilot. The taxes alone on this, just the 25% is going to bring, it's 23 times what that land's currently bringing. So you'll see millions of dollars every year, specifically just on the 25%, not counting the pilot. The pilot money that we would give to the school is not counted against the school district in the calculations at the state level in terms of, they look at tax revenue and it impacts their formula. So there's going to be actually millions of dollars coming into Green Township and the school district once this thing is fully built out. So, but we hear your concerns. How are you, sir?
Got it, Mayor. I've just got a couple of questions I'd like to ask you guys. You've already made the resolution for the 25% and 75, right?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Powell, you said you were up there how many times this week up in Columbus?
In Columbus this week? Oh,
said you were up
I was
there
in
now.
Columbus only once this week.
Well, you was up there around the data center, wasn't you?
Yep, sure was.
Well, let me ask you a question. Thursday night, you heard 3 trustees stand up and not support of this unless the abatement was changed. Did you not?
Yeah.
What'd we say? We want 100%, or you all negotiate or something and do something else. You turned right around and heard 200 people behind us or in front of us say the same thing. Now, they weren't against the data center, but they're against the abatement the way it was. Did you not hear that? How many hands went up when you said if we have different abatement, you would support it? A lot of hands went up.
Yep.
So the question I'm asking you, before you made this decision, did any of that matter to any of you? Did you all consider that before you took that decision that you made? 200 people, 3 trustees in our township that run our township and everything. Did you, any of you, consider any of that before you made your decision?
Absolutely.
And secondly, did you even call the company and talk to them about a different proposal on the tax abatement?
So one, We did consider your comments. And what's interesting about public discourse throughout this whole process is if you only come to our meetings and you only read the comments online, you would think everybody hates this, right? It's not the case. There's just people not willing to come out in support because they don't want to, quite frankly, argue a point one way or the other. It's actually kind of a whiplash approach where directly after that meeting, we had people that were seemingly against it come up to us and say, this is good for us. This is good for my son. This is,
Absolutely, and it will be
And
good
it's
for it if
so-
the tax abatement would have been higher.
I understand.
You understand?
And it could have been 100% with one phase, or it can be 25% at all phases, and you're going to make more in the long run.
And we'll have.
And more jobs
multiple
and
things.
construction much
Now,
longer.
from what I have studied up on this, there's gonna be multiple data centers built in all of that property, right?
Correct.
So we're not just looking at one.
Correct.
We could look up as 800 acres, from what I've seen on the graphics and everything, we're looking at maybe 10 to 15 over the period of years on both sides of the road going up.
Yeah, I don't know what their full deployment is.
But I mean,
But
I'm
that's
just throwing that-
possible on
I'm
the
just throwing
property.
that number out.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the property with the site, and it's
800
possible to have
acres
that
and,
many on there.
And everything.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure what they're gonna do, and from what I have been studying on this, once one data center, after about 8 to 10 years, it goes down, they've already started on another one or whatever, to the right of it, left of it, or whatever. And those technicians, highly educated technicians, are brought from there over to the next one. So you're not hiring 50 new people every time you have a data center. You're moving those employees, even though they may, like you said, they will be some electricians, probably pipe fitters, that'll have to stay around. But I myself think that the abatement should have been a little bit higher. I'm for the data center if the abatement was higher than 100%. But I think as of right now, you three sold Green Township out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, sir.
I can't get in there.
Do we have any other comments? Yes, sir. And I do know we're running late, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Whoops.
That's the.
Yeah, I'm just knocking
Sure.
things over, sorry. Mr. Powell, last week you said these meetings were the first chance you had to discuss this publicly. Frankly, I don't believe that's true. You could have and should have spoken to us about this when you first heard about it. This is an issue that you all three of you knew that it would massively affect this county, and you kept this in the dark. Whatever your intentions were, whatever was going on with the legal side of it, you chose to keep us in the dark. Nobody forced you to sign an NDA. I would think that given a recent long-serving member of this commission was recently removed because he was up to his eyeballs in corruption, you would go out of your way to be transparent. And it seems that you have not even tried to do that at all. In fact, you have abjectly failed. I had intended to ask you why we should take your word for anything regarding this when you guys couldn't give us the full story, but you've already said we shouldn't take your word.
Sure.
So instead, I intend to ask you, please, keep what you said in these meetings in mind come election day, because you can be damn sure the county will.
Thank you. Any other comments?
In return for the tax abatement, is the commission able to make any stipulations on the installation?
What's in terms of how they operate on their own land?
Indeed.
No.
It would seem that in the power overburden issue, people's fear of the draw on the electrical grid could be reduced if it were required that they do some of their own generation. If they were to, for instance, be required to have a solar array that would provide all, even, or perhaps part of their electrical supply. And I also am amused and reminded that in Lewis County, some time back, Vanceburg put a paddle wheel out into the Ohio River, which supplied enough electricity to give free power to everyone in Vanceburg, and with what they had left over, they sold it to Dayton Power and Light.
I appreciate that. I will say, and to your point, in terms of green energy or energy creation, by all means, look at their carbon neutral agenda and where they purchase their power from. We'll have time. I see we have two more, so I'll allow two more, and then we do have to move on to our next meeting. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, Mr. Powell.
You're fine.
I just wanted to address part of it. I
Yeah.
saw you had said they're gonna build it out as a campus. So
I mean, that's my terminology.
right,
Yeah.
but when you talk to other folks, I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So if you're talking a campus, a Google campus is they're building buildings that have open offices in it. They have biking paths. It's an open campus that they're using, and they have their intel there. What we're building out here is just a data center, and then you're having basically somewhere for us as security and cleaning detail to eat and basically have like a mess hall there.
No, they actually have I don't know what the terminology is. They have an administrative building where they have all of their own employees, their own technicians, or all their own folk. And I'm not talking
You know how
janitors.
many- Right,
And
how
that's
many of those
that's
do
the
we
number
have
I'm
there?
talking. Yeah, that's the number
Right.
we're talking about is 500 conservatively, one at full deployment.
Okay. That's it.
All right, thank you. And one more, Mr. Joe Dillow.
I'll keep my comments brief. My name's Joe Dillow. I'm with IBEW Union 575. We have been a part of this community since 1907. We have a violent stake in this community, in the 14 counties that we represent. You'd be hard pressed to find a Little League field or a school complex where we're not supportive of our youth. We've partnered with our area vocational schools to incorporate their electrical students into our apprenticeship programs. We have started a pre-apprenticeship programs for multiple crafts. This is a great opportunity for our area. I know people say it's going to be some construction jobs. Construction is a career of stringing together temporary projects. Every day we go on a job, we're working ourselves out of the job. So this is a career for our folks. We have our membership has doubled in the last 4 years. And it looks like it's going to continue to do that. We're doing the data center in Jeffersonville, Ohio. We just started this year, or this past year. By the end of this 2026, we will likely have at least 700 electricians up there working. Why not have it here inside the county? And the continuous work and upgrading, this is real. I mean, technology changes fast, faster than we can even imagine. We have guys who have been working in Columbus that have been there for years, constantly going through upgrading the servers, upgrading the electrical system, upgrading the cooling systems. This is regenerative careers and work opportunities for the people of this community, and I commend you all.
Thanks, Joe.
Can you tell us, like, what this is going to be like then, since it's not just a data center? I mean, like.
Yeah, so I'll yield to the company. I'll yield to Google on that when they start doing their public outreach. So, and I would expect some sort of announcement relatively soon, but then public engagement. And so they can truly kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what it is, what that impact looks like, truly how they operate, how they mitigate some of the concerns, how they interact with the community. I think when it's all said and done, the community will be. Are you okay, sir? All right. I do think the community will be happy with this outcome. I know it's scary because it's the unknown, but once they start seeing that engagement, I think you guys will be excited about the partnership. But yeah, thanks, sir.
Thank you, Darryl.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Darryl.
With that, I know we're we're over our advisory meeting, so quick comments, parting comments, Commissioner Mall?
Quick comments, we've got some bad weather, I'm told, coming this weekend, quite a bit of snow, so be very careful. I'm told Ellen Vedder's Chocolate Walk is gonna be coming up as well, so we wanna look forward to that. I have my faith and my belief in God, and I feel like I made the best decision. In spite of what some might think, I did feel like I made the best decision, so.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to once again say to people in Green Township, I know that a lot of people don't agree with the decision we made, but they have been very civil about it, and we have been able to have discussions, and you know, the question is, why didn't we have these discussions before? And a lot of that has to do with an NDA, and I know people don't understand why you would ever sign an NDA, but on that same property, over the years, there have been lots of NDAs signed. You just haven't heard about them because it never got this far. And I really hope that the people in Green Township understand that we did listen. After we were up at the last meeting, we actually had discussions on, you know, okay, what's our next move? Where do we go from here? And so it wasn't just, you know, we walked in up there and just turned a deaf ear to everything and walked away. We listened to what was said, and as Mr. Malta said, we feel like that we've made the best decision that we can make to get to where we had some say, we had some that we could do, and to help the construction people, help the community. And I know you don't agree with that, and you don't have to agree with me, but hopefully we can walk down the street and see each other, and speak to each other, and be okay with that.
All right, thanks, sir. I'm going to yield my time. I think I've probably spoken enough for the past several weeks. I do appreciate the community engagement, though. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Mall?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Thanks so much. Be safe this weekend.